Good evening to all and welcome to the session 200 grammar rules. But before I go to the actual session, I would like to spend 1 or 2 minutes on Unacademy. Unacademy is offering new courses are coming up related to SSC. At the outset, Unacademy platform is the best for SSC preparation. Why? You may ask why. 30 plus access to 30 plus batches every week, 300 plus classes a day, 70 plus educators, 40,000 hours of recorded content, 20,000 practice questions, and trusted by 90% plus SSC aspirants. Besides these reasons, these courses, the new courses, are going to be launched on 30th June. The Team Phoenix, that is the name of a bird, and Team Phoenix, SSC, CGL, and CHSL 2021-22 exams. Pathway to crack SSC exams with India's best educators. You have the best educators. Have a look at all these the details later. And top educators, top batches, starting from 30th June. Then again, what are the batches they are offering? There's one SSC CGL 2020 exam, complete revision batch, crack SSC GD Constable 2020 exam, AIM batch for SSC multitasking staff MTS exam 2020, and also two more foundation batch SSC CPO 2021 exam, crack SSC stenographer 2021 exam. Now, the subscription fee, you can have a look later, and you have this EMI option as well. Every month you can pay. And this is something very important. There's a scholarship test, India's biggest scholarship test. I think it is conducted every Sunday at 12 noon. And if you try to use my referral code. What is my referral code? Korlapati 4-5077. When you want to enroll also, if you use my referral code, you'll get 10% discount. Now, this particular combat scholarship test, the first prize, it is Apple iPad, second prize, Apple iPad, and third prize, JBL speaker. And more, I think, scholarships also they offer. So this is all about the courses that are going to begin on June 30th. Again, you can have a look at all these, the subscription, the course fee and all. So let us crack SSC all set. Now it is your choice. The ball is in your court. Now let us go to 200 grammar rules actual session. Today we are going to start with, yesterday I taught you guys, good evening to all of you. Yesterday I taught you guys confusing verbs, then causative verbs. Today, stative verbs, stative verbs. What are these? Stative verbs or state verbs describe a status or quality of something. They don't express action. They describe a status or a quality of something. They don't express any action. Even these are important from the exam point of view. Stative verbs, there are different kinds. Rule number 43 deals with stative verbs of opinion or perception. First, I'll show the examples, then the words, then the sentences. Agree, disagree, believe, know, prefer, recognize, suppose, understand. You have to memorize all these, and you have to create your own mnemonics. Mnemonics means what? Memory techniques. Only then you can remember. Otherwise, practically very difficult. Now have a look at. They have known the manager. What are the examples here? Some of the examples: know, prefer, recognize. Based on these words, I have brought a few examples. They have known the manager for 10 years. This sentence is in present perfect. Sentence is correct. But if you say, or someone says, they have been knowing the manager for 10 years, it is not correct. What is the reason? Stative verbs cannot be used in ing form. They cannot be used in present participle. So they have been knowing each other. They have been knowing the manager for 10 years. Absolutely wrong. The new management agrees with the employees. That is correct. You cannot say the new management is agreeing with the employees. That is not correct. The student doesn't understand the lesson. This is correct. You cannot say the student is not understanding the lesson. I don't understand is correct. You cannot say I'm not understanding. That is not correct. Now let us go to Rule number 44, I'm still with stative verbs. Stative verbs of possession. Possession means what? Owning something. And what are the verbs over here? Belong, have, owe, own, possess. With these verbs also, you cannot use the verb in ing form. He has an imported car. That is right. You cannot say he's having an imported car. If you say I'm having an imported car, or he's having an imported car, means what? He is eating an imported car. That is practically impossible. This mobile belongs to one of the students. This is correct. This mobile is belonging to one of the students is not correct. I have two brothers. It is correct. You cannot say, I'm having two brothers. Now, what is the meaning of I'm having two brothers? I'm eating two brothers, and that is not at all correct. Now, rule number 45, stative verbs of the senses. What are the senses? Hear, smell, see, feel, seem, appear. All these cannot be used in ing form. And a few examples, I will talk about that later. Please request when I talk about a particular thing, let us stick to that one. And once I complete, then you can ask, then I will explain. I don't hear anything, she whispered. That is correct. I'm not hearing anything. That is not correct. You cannot use in ing form. They smell like they spent years in the muddy pool. That is correct. You cannot say they're smelling like they spent years in the muddy pool. That is not correct. And rule number 46, again, stative verbs. Stative verbs of emotion. We have emotions, we have feelings, and these cannot be used in ing form. Exceptions are there. I'll talk about exceptions after the rules. Desire, hate, love, like, need, want. These verbs you cannot use in ing form. I love to read magazines and books. This is correct. You cannot say, I'm loving to read magazines and books. That is not correct. They have always hated Western dance. This is correct. You cannot say they have always been hating Western dance. That is not correct. The tourists need some help. This is correct. You cannot say the tourists are needing some help. You cannot use it in the ing form. Now, rule number 47, stative verbs. I'm still with the same concept. Some verbs, now these are exceptions. Now listen very carefully. So far you have seen different concepts, different examples, and one rule. What is that rule? We cannot use any of these verbs in ing form or present participle form. But English has rules, English has exceptions. Now 47 and 48, they deal with exceptions. Some verbs can function as both action verbs and stative verbs. First example, have. Have can express position. It has many meanings. One, position, then eating, then drinking. If you're talking about eating and drinking, you can use have in ing form. You are talking about position, you cannot use. So what is the first example? Have. Stative, possession. I have a bike. He has a cat. Here you cannot use a verb in the ing form. Action, expressions with have, eating, drinking. I'm having my lunch, or I'm having lunch means what? I'm eating lunch. Here you can use have in ing form. She is having fun. Here she is having fun means she is experiencing fun. This is also correct. So these you can use either this way or that way. You should not use ing form if you're talking about possession. You're talking about action, you can use the ing form. That way, these are important. The next one, the last one for today, still with stative verbs. Some verbs can function as both action verbs and stative verbs. The second example, see. Stative, perception with your eyes, understanding. I see some beautiful trees. Here you cannot say, I'm seeing some beautiful trees. That is not correct. I see what you mean. Here you cannot say, I'm seeing what you mean. Here we cannot use ing form. But action, see has a meaning also, action related. To meet someone regularly, have a relationship with someone. If you are conveying that meaning, then you can use in the ing form. I will be seeing the doctor tomorrow. I will be seeing the doctor tomorrow means what? I will be meeting the doctor tomorrow. Then you can use the ing form. They have been seeing each other for a few months. They have been seeing each other. Here, what does it mean? They are in a relationship. They have a relationship with each other. Now, if you have a question, you ask me. So that's all about stative verbs. I've done a little fast because we have to work on the practice questions and questions from previous year's papers. If you have a question, you can ask me now. Here we have got the SP Bakshi example. Examples could be from anywhere, almost all the books, because when you take certain verbs or certain words, more or less the same context, same examples you come across. No questions from your side. Let everyone say no questions. Then you can have a look at practice questions related to stative verbs. They have known each other for 5 years. Is this sentence right or wrong? They have known each other for 5 years. Please answer my question. Is it right or wrong? One, it is correct. Here you cannot use no. You cannot use it in ing form. Based on that, they have known each other for 5 years. Sentence is absolutely right. Thank you. If you respond that way, I feel comfortable. He is not understanding the concept. Is this right or wrong? You cannot say knowing. I'm knowing her. I'm knowing him. Wrong. I know her. I know him. I know them. And what about the second sentence? He is not understanding the concept. Is this right or wrong? He is not understanding the concept. It is wrong. Why is it wrong? You cannot use understand in the ing form. It is not correct. What is the correct sentence? Is also not correct. He does not. We have to say, he does not understand. He does not understand the concept. That is correct. And which tense is this? This is present tense. And which form is this? Negative. He understands. Does he understand? He doesn't understand. He does not understand full form. He doesn't understand the concept. Yes, that's right. Now go to sentence number 3. They have been seeing each other for a few months. Mention the question number. Question number 3. They have been seeing each other for a few months. Is this right or wrong? It is correct. Why is it correct? It talks about someone being in a relationship, to have a relationship with one each other. Now, my request, when we are dealing with this, please ask a question related to this. And that Hindu thing you can ask tomorrow morning in the Hindu session. That's a request from my side. Otherwise, what happens? We get deviated. Arrested here, it should be was arrested. I think one word is missing. Gang, a collective noun, was arrested. It should be in passive voice. I will answer for today. So I think if you have brought the exact sentence, there is an error. They arrested the gang, active voice. The gang was arrested by the police, passive voice. Gang is a collective noun. We should use a singular verb. The new student is having fun. Is this right or wrong? Let us go to sentence number 4. Rasul, have you got it? Please respond, Sheikh Rasul. Have you got the answer? Hmm. The new student is having fun. Means what? He is experiencing fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having fun. It is correct. I'm loving to listen to music. Is it right? It is not correct. I love to listen to. I'm loving to is not correct. It should be. I love to listen to music. And there's one thing I would like to tell you guys, a common error. Listen always takes a preposition. An idea goes this way. You should use a preposition to. A lot of people say, I listen music regularly. That is not correct. I listen to music regularly. Do remember, it takes. I love to listen to music. Yes. They're smelling very bad. Is it right or wrong? It is wrong. Here you cannot say smelling. They smell. Only they smell very bad. That is correct. Listen to music. Raza, yes, it is. Listen to music. But a lot of people say, I listen music. That is not correct. I listen to music. You have to use a preposition to. He's having a big house. Literally, it is impossible. So, is it right or wrong? It is wrong. It means what? He is eating a big house. Is it practically possible? No way. So, he has a big house. Here, what is the subject? Third person singular. Sentence is in present tense. It talks about possession. Then you have to say, he has a big house. That is correct. I hope you got an idea. But you got to spend some time. Please remember stative verbs and causative verbs. Causative verbs to some extent easy. Only three of them: make, have, get. You can manage. But here I have given 4 or 5 concepts. For each concept, about 10 or 15 examples, the verbs, and you have to memorize all these things. When it comes to memorization, people ask me, sir, how to memorize? Have you heard of this word? Please answer my question. Have you heard of the word mnemonics? Here, first M is silent. Mnemonics. What does it mean? Mnemonics means memory techniques. What does it mean? Memory techniques. While preparing for competitive exams, you have to learn a lot. Different subjects, each subject, so much information. Then definitely you have to use memory techniques. Otherwise, you practically impossible to remember. So, what are these memory techniques? You have to use abbreviations. Abbreviations. You have to use acronyms. Answer my question, what is the difference between an abbreviation and an acronym? And you have to use codes, you have to use graphics, you have to use infographics, a new concept, a graphic image with information. And when you have to use diagrams, do you guys use all these things? Please answer my question. You have to use word maps, you have to use mind maps. I'm talking about English. When it comes to English, word maps, mind maps, infographics, abbreviations, all these come under mnemonics or memory techniques. Let me ask a question. Do you guys use all these? Say yes or no, or at least some of them. Bhavna wants to answer the question, what is the difference between an abbreviation and an acronym? Very simple. If I take 3 letters, I pronounce BBC. The letters stand for British Broadcasting Corporation. When you take the first letter of each word and you pronounce each letter, it is called abbreviation. British Broadcasting Corporation. I've taken BBC. When I pronounce, I say BBC. This is an abbreviation. What is an acronym? You take the first letters of different words and you form a word. You form a word. Here I don't say NATO. What do I say? NATO. NATO is a word. If you form a word, it is an acronym. NASA, yes, that's an acronym. And one more acronym I want you guys to guess. This is scuba diving. Have you heard of that? Scuba diving anytime? The most popular, UNICEF, that is right. Very good. UNICEF, NATO, BRICS, that is also a very good example. I appreciate, yes, of course. Now tell me, scuba is an acronym. What do the letters stand for? A very popular water sport, adventure sport in the Western countries. Now slowly it has come to our country. What do the letters, scuba? Scuba is an acronym. What do the letters stand for? The letters stand for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. What do the letters stand for? Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. So you see English movies, especially James Bond movies, underwater they go, a mask, a snorkel, oxygen cylinder, flippers. The whole thing is called scuba diving, self contained underwater breathing apparatus. Now, let us go to the question, where is the error? Exactly, Prithviraj. I appreciate that. When you write immediately, you will be able to remember. Now, coming to question number one, where is the error? Have you guys answered? I don't want to go back, say yes or no. If you have answered, where is the error? Could you please give me a postal address or the postal address? Raj Shekhar, you have got it right. Here it is not a, it should be the. The definite article the should be there. Could you please give me, look at the expression, we use a helping verb could to make a request, a formal request. So what is the answer? Question number one. Second part, there is an error. It is not a, it should be the. Now please read sentence number two. He discussed about the murder case with his juniors. He discussed about the murder case with his juniors. Is this right or wrong? This is a common error. A lot of people make this mistake. Based on that, in many exams, they have given questions. There's one rule I'm going to tell. Very good. A lot of students have got it right. They say remove about. Here, the answer, where is the error? First part. Now, listen very carefully. In English, there's one rule. What is that rule? After certain verbs, you should not use any preposition. But people use that, they come under common errors. What are those verbs? Important ones from the exam point of view: discuss, order, stress. These three are very important. After that, you can think of inform. One more, inform. And the last one, attack. Now, a lot of people say, imagine you see a group, they're busy discussing. You ask them, what are you discussing? Or what are you doing? They tend to say, we are discussing about religion. We are discussing about politics. We are discussing about movies. Not at all correct. We are discussing religion. We are discussing movies. We are discussing politics. So, this is very important. When you go to a restaurant, again, people say, he has ordered for he has ordered for coffee. He has ordered for tea. He has ordered tea. After order, don't use any preposition. And this also, I've seen a lot of people, this is also important, they've given in many exams. He has stressed on 2 points. That is not correct. He has stressed 2 points. He has stressed two things. Don't say he has stressed on two things. That's what people say, but not correct. They have informed to the students, not correct. They have informed the students. After inform, don't use. Enter also you cannot use. Comprise, yes, you cannot. Describe, of course. Attack, attacked against, not correct. They have attacked the terrorist camp. But exam point of view, in many exams, they have given discuss, order, and stress. These are important. Now let us go to, yes, he has ordered tea. That is correct. You should not say he has ordered for. A lot of people say he has entered into the room. That is not correct. He has entered the room. You can say, who is that private working aspirant? Yes, he has walked into the room. That is correct. He has entered into the room. That is not correct. He has entered the room. That is correct. Even that has been given many a time. Now let us go to question number three. Raghu came out of the bathroom with a towel in the hand. This is a bit difficult. Enter into agreement. Looks like correct. In the newspapers also they use that expression. Into an agreement. Into an agreement. That's a standard phrase. Comprised of is not correct. Passive voice. Now, what is the active voice sentence? Then I can tell whether it is right or wrong. But generally, consist of is correct, comprise of is not correct. Enter into a business venture. When we talk about the room, they have entered into a business venture. They have entered a business venture, not correct. entered into an agreement, entered into a business venture. There the context changes. That is the reason why I tell students rules are there, exceptions are there. You got to be a little careful. Now, is this right or wrong? Yes, yes, that's right. Please answer question number. Here, it's a bit difficult to make out. Raghu came out of the bathroom, no problem. With a towel, no problem. In the hand, in the hand, whose hand is it? Then it is not correct. Here we have to say in his hand. What is a correct expression? In his hand. Then it is correct. In the hand, it is not correct. In his hand, then it is correct. So, where is the error? Third part, there's an error. Now, let us go to the next one. Question number 4. You will get all the informations if you read this book carefully. This is an easy one, rather, the easiest question for today. You will get all the informations if you read this book carefully. Already you have learned some nouns always in the singular form, like luggage, information, baggage, scenery, advice. You cannot use in the furniture. You cannot use in the plural form. So where is the error? In my opinion, this is the easiest question for today at least. Answer is second part, there is an error, but that is rather easy to answer, should not be that difficult. But what I suggest, see, when you have seen a question, let me go to the previous question. You will get all the information. When you correct this one, when you correct this one, no, sheep, deer, they go with a different rule. What is that rule? Some nouns have the same form for singular and plural. For that rule, we use a sheep, deer, bison, salmon, cod, trout, offspring, aircraft, spacecraft. But this is a separate rule. What is it? They're always in the singular form, and you cannot talk in terms of plural. Information is information, but sheep, you can make two sentences, singular and plural. A sheep is grazing in the field. I'm talking about one. Many sheep are grazing in the field. I'm talking about more than one. So that's a different category altogether. Here, when you see a question like this, you got to be very smart when it comes to learning. You may ask, sir, what is a smart learning? You answer the question. Information is not correct, information. Then try to recollect the rule. Already you have got the rule. If you don't remember, refer your notebook. Then try to recollect all the examples: information, luggage, baggage, scenery, advice, furniture. All these, if you recollect, that will definitely help in the long run, and you can consolidate your knowledge. In competitive exams, what matters? Consolidation matters a lot. Yes, poetry also, gentry. But gentry goes with a different rule. There are some nouns always in the singular form, but take a plural verb. Gentry, cattle, poultry, clergy, and vermin. There's a different rule altogether. Now, please go to more you think of it, the worse it becomes. You have a problem. More you think of it, the worse it becomes. Need not be. The more you think, you may get a solution. Yes, this goes with what we call, many students have answered, this goes with what we call parallel expression. What is parallel expression? You should use the same form, same part of speech, same verb form in the clauses or in the sentence. Here, more you think, the worse it, the worse. Then you cannot say more, you have to say the more. The more you spend, the less you have. Another example I give my students: the more you spend, the less you have. The higher you go, the cooler it is. These are all parallel expressions and very important from the exam point of view. So, where is the error? The first part, the more. Without the, it is not correct. That is a rule. We cannot question who is this Mandal. That's a good question. So why should we use the two times in the sentence? That is a rule that goes with English language. We cannot question. We have to accept, respect, and move on. I hope it's clear. The higher you go, the cooler it is. Yes, that's right. Ramana, Ramana. Had twice. Where is had twice? Where is had here? If you're talking about the, that is a rule. We cannot parallel expression you have to use. Jewelry retailers across India decided to suspend sold of gold coins and bars for 6 months. Selling or sale? Suspend, decided to suspend. Sale is a better word. Suspend what? Sale of or selling, selling of. They have decided to suspend something. Suspend what? Sale of gold coins or selling of gold coins. Where is the error? There is an error in the third part. Jewelry retailers, no problem. Across India, decided to, no problem. Suspend sold, that is not correct. But do you know that there are two meanings of the word sale? One meaning, it goes with selling a product, sale. Sell is a verb, sale is a noun. What is the second meaning of sale? To offer some sort of discount. Something is on sale means what? Discount. That is the second meaning. Where is it? Generally, you're asking, Mandal, if you want me to tell you, give you an example where we can use had two times. Very simple. It goes with past perfect tense. For example, I set papers also for public service commission exams. I've set once or twice. And one exam I gave a question like this. I had my breakfast before I came here. I gave an example like this. Before I came here, I had my breakfast before I came here. Now, answer, is this right or wrong? I'm doing that, Mandal. I'm answering your question. See, here, the other one is too thin. This is better. Who is this? Bhavana. This is better, in my opinion. Let others also respond. The other one is too thin, very difficult to make out. At least this you can make out, I suppose. Others agree or disagree? Which one is better? This one or the thin one? Please give the feedback because your understanding is very important. This sentence is right. I had my breakfast. Which tense is this? Past perfect. Here, had is used as a helping verb with a function. And here, had means eaten. What does it mean? Eaten. Eat, ate, eaten. I had a lot of money before something. I think, no, no, please, I want you guys to respond. This is better or the earlier one better? Thin one. This one is better. Hmm. A lot of students say this one, this thin one, one more. Shreya Singh also says thin one. Bhavana says a thin one, but two, three students have said this one. Anyhow, I'll try to change. She gave me details of all the schools she had visited while she was on an official tour. Sir, please solve one doubt of error. What is it? Who is this? Yo-Yo Bros. Sir, please solve one doubt of error. What is that? Yes, here we should use the definite article the. She gave me the details. Without the sentence is not correct. No, no. If you ask me the questions from outside this, a bit difficult to spend time because for these questions we don't have enough time. Like this, what happens? Every student brings one question. I will not be able to answer. Just hold that one. If you are going to come tomorrow, I will try to squeeze in, or today at the fag end of the session. If we get time, I will definitely answer that one. So, what is the answer here? First part, there is an error. The details is correct. Now, let us go to question number 8, error location. I shall have to withdraw from my savings to buy a new car. No, it says Yo-Yo Bros. Here, to answer your question, today I can answer whom is not correct. It should be who. Who you said had won the gold medal. He had won the gold medal. Here, the sentence is about the subject. You cannot use whom. Yo Yo Bros, I have answered your question. I don't want to disappoint you. It is not whom, it is who. Who you said had won the medal. Who had won the medal? He had won the medal. Here we cannot use whom, we should use who. Have you got it? Please say yes or no because I've answered, though I didn't want to answer. No, no, I have answered Yo Yo Bros. I have answered your doubt. For that, you have to respond. Vocabulary, sir. Oh, today I'm supposed to give an idea about Norman Lewis. Please wait for some time. Huh, that's good. Answer the question. Question number 8. What is the answer? There is no error whatsoever. Answer is absolutely right. No error. Now, how is it correct? Listen very carefully. We use will. No, this you got to listen. Stop asking questions and please listen. When it comes to future tense, only future, any future tense for that matter, any future tense, we have four tenses: future, future continuous, future perfect continuous. Any of these tenses, when it comes to first person singular and first person plural, we can use will or shall. Both are correct. Other pronouns we should use only will, we cannot use shall. So, based on that, I will come tomorrow, I shall come tomorrow. Both are correct, both mean the same, more or less. There is no error here. Then, have to. Already have learned one helping verb, you must have learned. Have to is a helping verb. What is the function of that helping verb? It is used to express an obligation imposed by an external authority or a situation. For example, I have to report to the manager. This is an obligation imposed by the external authority. I have to pay the bill today. Today is the last day. Situation demands I have to pay the bill today. I have to pay the bill today. Situation. So this sentence, it's a combination of future idea and an obligation imposed by a situation, not an external authority. Imposed by a situation, not an external authority. So I will have to, I shall have to, absolutely right. No error whatsoever. You can also say, yes, I have to. That is also right. I have to withdraw from my savings to buy a new car. That talks about only an obligation imposed by by a situation. But if you say, I will have to, I shall have to, it combines future and an obligation imposed by a situation. Is that clear? Say yes or no. I think I have explained in a lucid manner. It should be clear. Good evening. I want you guys to respond. No, no, nothing to do with will not be possible. I will tell you, I will answer later. One by one, we'll see. Now, let us go to the next one. I like reading more than to play. Now, I like reading more than to play. Is this right or wrong? I request please ignore anything that is unwarranted, anything that is not relevant, anything that is distracting or disturbing. Just ignore. That's it. Here, I like reading more than to play is not correct. I like reading. Verb in ing used as a noun. I like what? Reading. More than. Nothing wrong with this. But this goes with parallel expression. Parallel expression, verb in ing form. The other one also should be in ing form, not in the basic form. So this is not correct. It should be, I like reading more than playing. I like reading more than playing. Very simple. What is the correct sentence? I like reading. Reading, playing, parallel expression. So answer is to play is not correct. It should be playing. I hope you got it. Yes or no? Please respond. Now let us go to question number 10. I worked as a medical representative for 8 months. Is this right or wrong? I worked as medical representative for 8 months. Right or wrong? Guys, please respond. Question number 10. There are two errors. One is I worked as a medical representative. What is the other error? It is wrong. And mind you, guys, there are two errors. First one, it could be typo. As a medical representative, that is one thing. But what is the other error? Here, for 8 months, that is a time period. Always look at the time period and try to guess the tense. I told yesterday, for the last 8 months, for the past 8 months, for 8 months, for 1 year, then you should use present perfect tense. If it is something in the past, time in the past, then past tense, but a time period from the past to the present, then you should use present perfect tense. Based on that, it is not I worked, it should be I have worked. I have worked. Which tense is this? It is present perfect tense, past to present. And if the time is there in the past, last year, in 2010, then it should be in the past tense. I hope you got it. I have been working. When do we use that? Now, I have worked goes more with past to present. One situation, present perfect. Present perfect continuous. Action begins in the past, it comes to the present, it may go into future. Now I started the session at 7:30 past. Now it is almost not almost exactly 8:13. It is there in present. I will teach till 8:30. Someone comes and says, "What have you been doing? What have you been doing since 7:30?" I have been teaching since 7:30. Or someone asks, "What are you doing?" I can also say either I'm teaching or very specific, I have been teaching since 7:30. Present perfect continuous. No, no, just ignore. My suggestion, just ignore. Please ignore. Just be blind to all those things. That's a request from my side. Please ignore. Some people, now 11 to 15, scrambled sentences. Have a look and try to get the correct order. Usually I tell students, I have been teaching for the last so many years. I have been teaching for the last 25 years. That means past, it started, present, it is there. I'm going to teach for some more years. So I have been teaching. You have been learning. Oh, someone has already answered. Some people, what? Feel intimidated. This is an important word. By the presence of peers during the learning process. This is also an important word. Now tell me what is the answer first. Some people feel. Now it should start with Q. How many options with Q? Only one option. Based on that, what is the answer? The second option, you can get the answer in a second. QPR. Some people feel intimidated. Tell me what is the meaning of the word intimidate? This is an important word. I will give you a second. You try to respond. What is the meaning of the word intimidate? Intimidated means what? Frighten. frightened. Intimidate means frighten. Usually, this intimidation, frighten goes with something that is scary, but the word intimidate goes more with knowledge, money, power, authority. His position intimidates me. His knowledge intimidates me. His English sometimes intimidates me. His wealth intimidates me. So these are the typical combinations. Now, what is the meaning of peers, peer pressure? I think the spelling should be double E. Peer pressure means what? There's one expression, peer pressure. What does it mean? Do you know this expression? Peer pressure. Dominate, exactly. In a way, dominating. Then you get a little worried or scared. You feel uncomfortable. Peer means same level, same position, same age. And what is this peer pressure? You're in a group and someone for all the others they force you to do something because you're part of the group you cannot say no. There's a lot of pressure on you. That is known as peer pressure. Now let us go to question number 12. Accompanying staff, another meaning, same level, same position, same age group. Peers. Rival has got a different connotation. Now try to get sentence number 12. Walking is the best form of exercise to remain healthy. So walking is the of exercise, best form of exercise to remain healthy. So what is the answer? This is also the second option, QPR. Let us go to now we spend based on the word walk. There is another word we use for walk. What is that word? Stroll. Stroll means leisurely walk. This also means the same. And a common error, a lot of people say, if I ask the question, how do you come? They say, by walk. Is it right or wrong? By walk. I come by walk. Is it right or wrong? I come by walk. Please answer my question. I come by walk. It is wrong. Are you guys there? There are two sentence patterns. I come on foot. You can also say, I come walking. I come on foot. That is correct. I come walking. This is also correct. But never say, I come by walk. That is not correct. Now, sentence number 13. I come walking is also correct. Absolutely right. I came walking. Yes, of course. Many Indians don't know that pattern. They know I come on foot. I came on foot. But there are two patterns. Every batch I tell the same thing. I came walking. I come walking every day. Absolutely right. A lot of people don't know that sentence pattern. Politeness is, 13. What is the answer? On Connaught Express. Now, please look at this question. What is the correct order? Politeness is not a quality possessed by only one nation or race. So, politeness is not a quality. How many options begin with R? Only one option, that is the answer. Answer is what? RPQ. Politeness, giving respect to others. Polite, respect to others. Now, when it comes to giving respect to others, there are two words, manners and etiquette. Careful with the pronunciation. Etiquette. Etiquette. How do you pronounce this? By walk is not correct. Etiquette, Etiquette, etiquette. What is the difference between these two? Generally, we say manners and etiquette. What is the difference? Manners and etiquette. Manners, you all know, giving respect to others. What is the meaning of etiquette? Any idea? No, etiquette also goes with manners, but it goes with a particular situation or a particular profession. Situation or a particular profession. Manners that go with a particular situation or a particular profession. Table manners and table etiquette. And defense people, they have a particular body language that is known as etiquette. Situation or profession, we use the word etiquette. General, we use the word manners. Good manners, bad manners. Now, ethics, morals, that is different. Moral values, morals, ethics, that is entirely different. Now, let us go to question number 14. Employees of companies, defense people. There was once a, this is rather easy. If you get the first one, it's over. There was once a poor man who earned. How many options with P? Go for that. There was once a poor man who earned just a bare living for himself and his family. So, what is the answer? It is the rules of polite and correct behavior. Yes, Ahmed, you're absolutely right. Answer is the first option. But here, usually, if you ask someone, you want to find out what the person does, people say, where are you working? Just answer my question. Where are you working? My first question, have you heard of this any time? People saying, where are you working? Have you heard of that? Just say yes or no. First, when they want to find out what a person does, they say, where are you working? Have you heard of this? Say yes or no. First, yes. Now, second question, is it right or wrong? Do you think this question is right or wrong for that idea? For that idea, is this question right or wrong? It is wrong. Where are you working? People say that it's a common error. For that idea, we should say, for this question, where are you working? Imagine you are in the kitchen. I'm working in the kitchen. You are in the garden. I'm working in the garden. That's a different question altogether. But you want to find out what a person does, you should say, there are two questions. Which firm or which company? Which company or firm do you work for? Do you work for? Which company do you work for? I work for so and so company. I work for so and so company. That is the answer. You can also say, whom do you, conversation English, people say who. Standard English, whom do you work for? Whom do you work for? I work for him. I work for that company. Sometimes what happens, you're a businessman. You don't work for anyone. Then what will be your answer? Whom do you work for? You have to say, I work for myself. What is the answer? I work for myself. That's a standard expression. Hope you guys are listening carefully. Which company do you work for? Which firm do you work for? Which organization do you work for? Whom do you work for? These are correct. Never say, where are you working? That is not a correct question. And you work for a particular organization, you have to say, I work for IBM, I work for Microsoft, the name of the organization. But you're a businessman, then what are you supposed to say? Whom do you work for? I work for myself. I work for myself. That is the answer. Now, question number 15, still with scrambled sentences. I'm self employed. You can say that also. But native speakers say, I work for myself. You can also say, I'm self employed. Absolutely no problem. Perfect sentence. Please go to, we have only 5 minutes. Today also, I don't think we can complete 20 questions. Attracted by the serenity, serene place. Serenity means what? Calm, quiet, tranquil, peaceful. All these words can be used. Attracted by the serenity, it takes a preposition of. That means there are two options. You cannot consider this. You cannot consider this. It should be either the second one or the fourth one. Attracted by the serenity of the evening, a friend and I. So it should be, the first one is what? Q, and after that R. Answer is the fourth option. Attracted by the serenity of the evening, a friend and I lately went to one of the public walks near the city. That is correct. Thank you very much, Prithvi Raja. Thanks a lot. So answer is what? The fourth option. That is the answer. Now we have 4 minutes. Let us finish off. Today I have brought, in fact, I brought yesterday also, fillers based on grammar knowledge. So let us do quickly. They haven't had much time. Short form, they haven't had much time for social activities, and I have not done so either, also gone. So what is the answer here? These are important. The last 5 questions, fillers, important. Try to answer quickly. I may extend 1 or 2 minutes if you guys are willing to stay. I don't have any problem. Yes, who is this? Private working aspirant has got it right. Question number 16. It is not the first option. It is not the third option. It is not the fourth option. It is the second option. They haven't had much time. That is in present perfect. They haven't had much time for social activities. And I have not either. I have not either. Answer is the second option. That's a good question. Challenging question, in my opinion. Not an easy one. Now let us go to question number 17. This is rather easy. Every year, millions of tourists, the Anna Centenary Library in Chennai. No, done so is not correct. It is either. I haven't done so, not done so. They haven't had much time. What is the previous question? They haven't had, it talks about possession, not about doing something. What is the answer here? Easy one. The sentence is in present tense, a fact. Present tense, the verb should be in the present form. It cannot be in ing and it cannot be in the past. So, what is the answer? Every year, millions of tourists visit the Anna Centenary Library in Chennai. Present is related. The driver was injured. He died within an hour. Okay, for what? For question number 17. Now, what is the answer for question number 18? The driver was fatally injured. Fatal means causing death. Significantly means importantly. That doesn't go with this context. Fatefully, that is not relevant here. Vitally also means important. That is not relevant here. So, what is the answer? Fatally means deadly, fatal, causing death. That's right. Now, 19. If strict security measures were taken, the tragedy might have been, that talks about a past possibility, which is a guess. This is a good question. Question number 19. Nice. Oh, Harshavardhan, you have joined a little late. Which one is nice? Question or answer? Or the explanation? I'm just joking. Here, if strict security measures were taken, the tragedy might have been averted. Averted means what? Avoided, prevented, thwarted. Answer is the first option. Not removed, not controlled, not restrained. They don't go with the context. The tragedy might have been avoided, averted, prevented, thwarted. Four words can be used: avert, prevent, avoid, thwart. All the four words can be used. Now, the last question for the day. This goes with a phrasal verb. This question is based on what? Phrasal verb. Phrasal verb related. Yes, that is the word pranita, thwart. It's an important word, goes with everyday English. Now, what is the answer? Question number 20, the last question for the day. It's already 8:30. He takes after his father. Answer is second option. Take after means resemble. She takes after her mother. Resemble. Take after means what? Resemble. Take off has what? Two meanings. One meaning remove. Remove. Take off your shoes. Another meaning, an aeroplane becomes airborne. The flight took off at 3:30. The flight took off at 3:30. Take out something, take back something. So easy to understand. Now, I don't know how many of you know about, I have started foundation course on Unacademy platform, morning 9:30 to 10:30, 1 month foundation course. If you use my referral code, Kollapati4-5077, you get 10% discount. Like 7:30 to 8:30 free classes, noon, 12 noon, not PM, 12 noon to 1, everyday vocabulary related. I free classes on Unacademy platform. Again, my code Korlapati4-5077. That's all about today's session. Your happy, wonderful class. Thank you very much for the feedback. Every year is adverb of frequency that we use. No, no. Who says every year goes with present continuous? Every day, every year, every month, all these time phrases go with present tense. I visit Tirupati every year. I go to the US every year. I visit some place every summer. Only present tense, not present continuous. No problem. No problem. You are there. That is important. That is important. If you learn well, we are happy. We want you guys to learn because every minute is important for you guys. Every second is important. Time is precious. So try to get enriched to the maximum extent and eventually you will get success. On that note, I would like to wind up the session. Good night. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.